Oh, nice red. I want some red to make a couvillon. I want to make some fish curry. And I want a big red to chunk to do that with. If I can get this guy in the boat. Come on, in the net. There we go. Beautiful. Oh, yes, sir. You're going in the ice chest. You're going to make a beautiful couvillon curry. Okay, the ingredients we're going to need to make this redfish curry are fresh ginger, garlic, a lemon, a cup of jalapenos, a red onion, salt, pepper, a can of coconut milk, and for spices we'll need ground turmeric, ground cayenne pepper, ground cumin, ground coriander, and some mustard seeds, and then we'll dice up some whole tomatoes and put them in the gravy also. Alright, the piece of meat I like to use to make this curry is what I call the shoulder of a redfish. So you got a big redfish fillet, I like to use this top piece right here. I call that the shoulder. And I'll just cut it into big chunks like that for curry. Then I'll take the rest of this fillet and dice it up and use it in redfish couvillon. So that's what I call the shoulder, great big chunk of redfish. This is the biggest flakes and the most densest part. Alright, for the ginger we're going to use about 1 inch of sliced ginger. And we'll just cut off a good inch piece. And I found the easiest way to peel this is just take a knife and scrape it. So we'll scrape this whole piece of ginger and chop it all up. Get it nice and clean. We'll use about 5 toes of garlic. We're going to use 2 whole jalapenos. The jalapenos we're just going to slice thin. Traditional curries have a red chili, but I grow jalapenos, so use what you grow. And for the red onions, we're going to slice it real thin. You want this to saute down good in the gravy. Take our garlic and we'll mash them to where they peel easy. So we'll take our ginger, kind of slice it a little bit, and then chop it all up real fine. You want about an equal amount of chopped garlic and ginger, equal to about 5 toes of garlic. We'll chop our garlic same. So in order to start this, what we'll do is we'll take and we'll get our pot heating up. I like to use a deep pan with a lid because you need to let this simmer a little bit. We'll add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil to the bottom, and you can use vegetable oil, whatever you want or have. I can see the oil kind of wavering a little bit. And once I get it real hot, I drop a teaspoon of mustard seeds in the hot oil. You want to kind of get these mustard seeds to almost like popcorn. So when the oil's real hot and your mustard seeds are doing like popcorn, that's releasing all the mustard flavor from those seeds. And we'll go ahead and put our onions in there real quick. We'll put our onions in. We'll move them to one side. And we'll go ahead and put all of our garlic and ginger in. With the onions in there at the same time, that'll prevent your garlic from burning. Kind of want to cook that down, the garlic and ginger, till you smell the fragrance of it. I'll turn my heat back down to medium now. And then I'll start sauteing the onions, garlic, and ginger all together. And I don't want to cook these onions down to where they're caramelized and sweet. I just want to kind of sweat them. I'll do the same thing now. I'll go ahead and put my peppers in. Same thing, I want to sweat these, I don't want to caramelize them. So as you can see, I've kind of just sweated these onions down. Once I've got my onions sweat down, I'm going to add 1 cup of water, about a cup of diced tomatoes. I'm going to add a whole can of coconut milk. And for our seasoning, we got a half a tablespoon of ground coriander, a teaspoon of cumin, a teaspoon of turmeric, and a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And we'll use the exact same ratio of seasoning in the marinade we're going to make in a minute. And then we'll salt and pepper to taste. A little black pepper, a little bit of sea salt. Give all this a good stir and bring it up to a simmer. Once we get this to a simmer, we're going to let it cook 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how thick we want to let the sauce get. All right, that's the kind of idea what it looks like as it starts to simmer. We're going to go ahead and cover it, and now we'll make the marinade for the fish. All right, our marinade for our fish is going to be the juice of 1 lemon, and the same ratio of seasoning we used in the gravy. Half a tablespoon of coriander powder, a teaspoon of cumin, and I think I misspoke earlier for that one. It should be a half a teaspoon of turmeric and a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. We'll drop all this in, and I recommend stirring this with a spoon or something because that turmeric will stain everything yellow. You won't be able to get it off your fingers. So we'll let that marinate. We'll check our gravy. Oh, looking beautiful. We'll let this keep simmering probably about 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, after about 10 minutes, this is what my gravy's looking like. About the right thickness I want it and everything. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn this off and let it cool. Normally at this stage I'd have the fish sauteed and I'd put it in, so I'm going to turn it off and let it cool today, and then I'm going to saute the fish and let them cool. Then I'll combine them later on and make a meal then. Alrighty, to saute my fish, once again I'll start off with a couple tablespoons of olive oil. Alright, the olive oil looks like it's heating up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and start putting my redfish chunks in. And I really kind of just want to give this a little bit of a quick browning on both sides. I don't need to cook this all the way through. I just want to get a little sear on the sides a little bit to where when I put it in the gravy later, it doesn't all fall apart. So we're just doing this about 2 minutes on each side to get it to start to cook. Go ahead and flip them all over. And do the same thing, 2 to 3 minutes on this side, just to get the cooking process started. See that nice bright yellow coloring that it took from the turmeric? So normally at this point in time you'd have your gravy simmering and you would just take your chunks and put them in the gravy. But I'm preparing this for later on this evening at an event. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take them all out. This helps set the fish. It helps set the seasoning into the fish. And then later on I'll just warm my gravy up. I'll drop these in, simmer them about 5 minutes to 10 minutes, and the curry will be ready. So once you do put them in your gravy, you just swirl it around. You don't really stir it. Get all the goodness out of there. And then we'll be set up to cook this evening. Alright, we got our gravy simmering, and we're just going to take our redfish chunks that we sauteed and put them down in it. And saute about 5 minutes. Once we get them in here sauteing, we don't want to stir it with a spoon. We'll just shake the pot. All right, we simmered for about 5 minutes. It's done. We're getting ready to take the rice out. Serve it up. Curry's ready. Come in, get it. Try a little bit of the curry.
Straighten it out. Can you do this?
Well, I'm thinking about another because I cut grass for the first time this week. And
Ooh,
I can feel
got some kick to it, but it's
little bit,
good.
I'm hoping another.
All right, give me a critique on it, Tommy.
Color's real good, good and spicy. Fish is perfect.
Just could use a little salt, huh?
Just a little salt.
All right.
But I like salt.
Yeah, so good deal. Thank you. All right, Bertrand, let me know what you think of the curry. Honest opinion.
My honest opinion?
Yeah.
Man, this tastes just like more.
It's hot, but it probably could use a little
I like
salt.
spicy food.
Oh, good deal. We in business then.
Oh yeah, it tastes just like more. Or more.
Yeah. All righty, thank you, man. Well, I'm trying to perfect a little redfish curry recipe, and I cooked a batch of it and took it up to a meeting I had and got a bunch of people to try it, and the only comment was could use a little more salt, and for my personal taste, maybe a little less heat, maybe 1 jalapeno instead of 2. Other than that, the coconut milk and the seasoning cooked with redfish, it was pretty darn good. So till the next video, get out there and go fishing.